Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
It is my pleasure to welcome you to Temple Emeth and to our Shabbat Morning Service. I welcome you here to the Rabbi Louis J. Siegel Sanctuary in Teaneck, New Jersey. This morning we are celebrating Shabbat with our traditional prayers and songs. And at this service, Thomas and Marcos Pinones will become B'nai Mitzvah. Today's service is being live streamed, and we are excited that members and guests alike can join us from places near and far. If you're watching our service online, I hope you will consider yourself not a viewer but a participant. Feel free to sing along with the music and to rise at the designated parts of the service. And I invite you to take a moment to say Shabbat Shalom, your location, and if you are a guest of the Pinones family, your relationship to them in the chat or comment section of the live stream platform. Our prayer book for this morning's service is Mishkan Tefillah. The book follows an innovative format where on any two facing pages there are 3 or 4 different versions of the same prayer. After offering just one of these versions, we turn the page and go to the next prayer. If we skip a page, we will announce a new page number. If you don't read Hebrew, you can take advantage of the transliteration of the Hebrew on the page. If you're watching on live stream and you have a copy of Mishkan Tefillah at home, take a moment now to bring it to your computer so you can be a full participant in the service, following along with every prayer, song, and page number of our service today. I would like to say Bruchim Habaim, a warm welcome to those of you who are here in person in the sanctuary. You can find the Siddur labeled Mishkan Tefillah in front of your seat. I ask that you put your cameras away and silence your cell phones. We have a custom here at Temple Emeth that if a cell phone rings in the middle of the service, we identify the owner of the offending phone, point at them, and laugh. So don't let that happen to you. We want you to be full participants in the service.
That was good.
It's all going to come back.
That was great. Thank you.
We also want you to be full participants in the service, singing along and reading aloud at responsive readings. As we begin our service, I invite you to turn in Mishkan Tefillah to page 192. As we join together in singing our opening song, please join us in singing Ma Tovu.
Ma משכנותיך ישראל, משכנותיך
Our existence as human beings is made possible through the miraculous combination of body and soul. And so we acknowledge these two miracles in our next two prayers. We turn to page 194 as we thank God for the human body, and after that we will thank God for the soul. Please read with me in English on page 194. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who formed the human body with skill, creating the body's many pathways and openings. It is well known before your throne of glory that if one of them be wrongly opened or closed, it would be impossible to endure and stand before you. Blessed are you, Adonai, who heals all flesh, working wondrously. Baruch atah Adonai rofeh chol basar umafli la'asot. As we turn to page 196, we read together in English, thanking God for the soul. My God, the soul you have given me is pure. You created it, you shaped it, you breathed it into me, and you protect it within me. For as long as my soul is within me, I offer thanks to you, Adonai, my God, and God of my ancestors, source of all creation, sovereign of all souls. Praised are you, Adonai, in whose hand is every living soul and the breath of humankind. Baruch atah Adonai, asher biado nefesh kol chai, veruach kol basar ish. We turn now to page 198, where we find a series of short blessings known as the Nisim B'chol Yom, the blessings for our daily miracles. You can see the theme of each blessing in the margin on the right-hand side, and we recite these blessings one after the other, beginning on page 198 and continuing on the next few even-numbered pages.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan l'sach v'bina le'achlim mekim u'vein laila. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, pokei al-chivrim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, zokei kifufim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, roka aretz al hamayim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, amechlin mitzadei kaver. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, malbish ahomim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, anoten lo ya'ef koach. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Hamavir shena meinai, duma me'apapai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shasani b'tzelem Elohim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shasani bat chorin. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shasani Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, ozer Yisrael b'gvura. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, oter Yisrael b'tifara.
We turn on page 204, where we find the blessing for the study of Torah. Please read with me in Hebrew at the top of the page. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. O Adonai, our God, let the words of Torah be sweet in our mouths and the mouths of your people Israel, so that we, our descendants, and the descendants of all your people Israel, may know you by studying your Torah for its own sake. Blessed are you, Adonai, who teaches Torah to your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai hamalamed Torah le'amo Yisrael. Having offered the blessing for the study of Torah, we turn now to page 206 in our Siddur. And in the middle of the page, we read together in English an excerpt of Torah, oral Torah from the Talmud, which we recite at this time in fulfillment of the blessing. These are things that are limitless, of which a person enjoys the fruit of the world, while the principle remains in the world to come. They are honoring one's father and mother, engaging in deeds of compassion, arriving early for study morning and evening, dealing graciously with guests, visiting the sick, providing for the wedding couple, accompanying the dead for burial, being devoted in prayer, and making peace among people. but the study of Torah encompasses them all. We turn now to page 223. You shall always be praised, great and holy God, our sovereign in heaven and on earth. Songs of praise and psalms of adoration become you, acknowledging your might and your dominion. Yours are strength and sovereignty, sanctity, grandeur, and glory always. We offer our devotion, open our hearts in acclamation. Baruch atah Adonai, el melech gadol batishbachot, el hahoraot adon haniflaot, habocher b'shirei zimra, melech elchei ha'olamim. Praised are you, sovereign of wonders, crowned in adoration, delighting in song, eternal majesty.
Yitkadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'almai v'rach yirutei v'yavlich malchutei v'chayeichon u'b'yomeichon v'chayei t'chol beit Yisrael b'gala u'lizman karif v'immeru Amen. Yehesh me Rabbah mivarach le'olam olam me'almaya yitbarach yishtabach v'yitbarach v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadai v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei l'kedusha b'rihu leila min kol birchata v'shirata tushbchata minechamata damiran me'alma v'yimmeru Amen.
Please rise if you are able for the Baruch Hu, page 226.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevarach. Baruch Adonai HaMevarach le'olam va'ed.
Okay, nice and loud.
Praised are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of light and darkness, who makes peace and fashion all things. In mercy, you illumine the world and those who live upon it. In your goodness, you daily renew creation. How numerous are your works, Adonai! In wisdom, you formed them all, filling the earth with your creatures. Be praised, Adonai our God, for the excellent work of your hands, and for the lights you created. May they glorify you. Shine a new light upon Zion, that we all may swiftly merit its radiance. Praised are you, Adonai, creator of all heavenly lights.
Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer HaMeorot. Excellent. Turn the page. Okay. Page 231. Nice and loud.
Love your neighbor as yourself, you said, and light blinded we saw, that inner and outer worlds are one, as you are one. You spoke and we wrote. We reached for you down the centuries. Your light moving before us as we climbed, fell back and climbed again. Your Sinai of life.
Baruch atah Adonai, havocher be'amo Yisrael be'ahava.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated. We continue on page 234 as Marcos offers for us the translation of Ve'ahavta. Nice and loud.
You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions which I charge this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on your doorposts of your home and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments, and to be holy to your God. I'm Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai God. Adonai Elohim Emeth. We continue in the page, middle of page 239.
Okay, Marcos in the middle of page 239 is going to lead us reading responsibly.
The eternal truth is that you alone are God, and there is none else.
May the righteous of all nations rejoice in your love and exult in your justice.
Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks.
Let nation not lift up sword against nation, nor learn war anymore.
You shall not hate your brother or sister in your heart.
The stranger that sojourns with you shall be accepted as your equal, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt.
Why do you crush my people and oppress the poor? Ask God.
We know that the Eternal One defends the poor and upholds the rights of the needy.
Praise to God, Most High.
Blessed is God and deserving of blessing. We continue in the middle of page 242 with the tefillah. Please rise if you are able for the tefillah.
Adonai sefatai tiftahu fi yadi tehillatech. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor v'Hanokra, Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim v'Konei Akol, v'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'Mevi Gula Livnei V'neihem, L'man Shema Be'avad, Melech Ozer, Mashiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham v'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh kol ha'terab le'oshia, Mashiv aruach u'marit agashem, Mechalkel chayim b'chesed, Mechayeh שני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ולמידות מלך. מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל.
נקדש את שמך בעולם כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך וכרזה אל זה ואמר.
קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלך הארץ כי הוא אדון.
אדיר, אדירנו אדוני אדוננו, מאדיר שמך בכל הארץ.
ברוך כבוד אדוני מנקמה.
אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכנו, הוא מושיענו, הוא ישמנו ברחמיו לעיני כל חי, אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהי ציון, לדור ודור, הללויה. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, נגיד גודלך. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, נגיד גודלך. ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, קדושתך נקדיש. ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש, לעולם לעולם ועד. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, נגיד גודלך. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, נגיד גודלך. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Amen. Please be seated. Our service continues now on page 250. To honor Shabbat, we look at the top of the page and we join together in singing Yismechu.
ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת וקוראי עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת וקוראי עונג שבת. מקדשי שבי שבת. כולם ישבעו ויתענגו מתלך שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת וקוראי עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת וקוראי עונג שבת. וישבי רצית בו וקידשת שבת, חמדת ימים אותו קראת שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי שומרי שומרי
turn now in Mishkan Tefillah to page 258 as we join together in the middle of the page, reading in English, a prayer for peace. Grant peace, goodness, and blessing, grace, kindness, and mercy to us and to all your people, Israel. Bless us, our Creator, all of us together, through the light of your presence. Truly, through the light of your presence, Adonai, our God, you gave us a Torah of life, the love of kindness, justice, and blessing, mercy, life, and peace. May you see fit to bless your people Israel at all times, at every hour, with your peace. Praised are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamivarech et amo Yisrael, ba'shalom. We take a moment now for silent prayer, also known as Tefillat Halev, the prayer of our hearts. Inspirational readings for this moment are found on pages 260 and 261. We continue now on page 363 of our prayer book, page 363, as we begin now our service for the reading of the Torah, Seder Kriyat HaTorah. Okay, nice smile.
Assemble the people, men, women, and children, and the strangers in your cities to hear, to learn, to revere Adonai your God, to observe faithfully the words of this Torah, and let their children who do not yet know it hear that they too may learn to revere Adonai your God. We continue in the middle of the next page. Please rise.
Leave your book here. Yeah, we're going to walk to the middle of the meeting. And in that moment, as they received the Torah not only on their own behalf, but on behalf of all the future generations of Israelites and all the future generations of Jewish people who were yet to come. And so today, as the Torah is passed from one generation to the next in Marcos' family, we witness the continuation of a tradition that began at Sinai, that of passing the Torah midor ledor, from generation to generation. For the honor of undressing the Torah, we call upon Carl Friedman and Esther Cohen. Okay, Esther, come on up, Carl. Esther, you start with the crowns. Carl, you take the pointer and lift up off the podium to the right. Grab the cover by the top. Good. Hold it. Put it right over there. And now turn around and wish your nephews a mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
Thank you. Okay. Excellent. So you can start introducing the congregation. Okay, great. Everyone can have a seat except for Marcos. Marcos, you're going to give us the first bit of your speech. Please be seated. Okay. Thomas, right over here. Marcos, you have a very interesting Torah portion. Let them know. Remember, this is read. That's revised. Most importantly, make sure they hear every word. Make it nice and loud. I know you can.
My Torah portion takes place right after the Israelites cross through the Red Sea and sing their famous song of rejoicing. Through they are united as community is in song at that moment. The next we read about them is that the community is struggling. They are thirsty, but when they find water, it is bitter. The people grumble against Moses and Aaron, saying they want to be back in Egypt, where at least they would have food and water. Moses doesn't know what to do, so he asks God for help. Then God shows him a piece of wood that would start a miracle. Moses throws the wood in the water, and now it is drinkable. After that, they persevere and keep going towards the homeland. They make it to a place called Elim, which has 70 palm trees and 12 springs of water. As a community, they are not so upset because God has solved their problem. You can follow along as I read in the Torah portion beginning at Exodus, chapter 15, verse 22, which can be found in the large Torah commentary books in the sanctuary on page 497 and in the revised Torah commentaries that some people have at home on page 442.
We can take a step back because we have to get the Torah all ready for you. Sit down for just a sec. I need this. Here's our markups. Let's talk a bit about you. Okay, B and Oscar, come stand behind him. And let's take this and put it pointed right ahead. Yeah. Okay, hang on a second. Vayasa.
Amen.
Okay, hang on. We're gonna say this. First the cantor's gonna call your Hebrew name, all fancy.
Yamad, Yamad, Habachor Habar Mitzvah, Chaim Yitzchak ben Batya, Le'aliyah.
Baruch
Start
atah
here, Baruch.
Baruch Adonai Habarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamparach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Habarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Okay, you're right here. We're ready.
Amen. Vayasha Moshe et Yisrael miyam suv vayetu et Bashor vayelchu shloshet mayim tamidbar v'lo ratzu mayim vayelchado marata v'lo ratzu lishtot mayim mimra himorim neim altein rajama naida.
Let's go up here. Okay, we're right up here now.
Yayonu ha'am al noshech lemor lamisteh.
Okay, we're right here. Baruch Atah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'hayei olam atah b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Please join me in wishing Marcos Mazel Tov. Okay, great, Marcos. I'm going to take this, and you can have a seat. And Mom and Dad have a seat for a second. And Thomas is going to tell us about his Torah portion. Okay, here's it's right over here. Hang on just a second. Okay, Thomas, so stand right in the middle, and nice and loud.
My Torah portion takes place right after the Israelites have grumbled about not having water. Now their complaint is that they don't have food. and that they don't trust Moses to give them what they need. God says to Moses that the people will have a special kind of food called manna to eat. They will receive it 6 days a week, but on Friday they will get double because they will not receive it on Shabbat. God warns that they should not keep it for more than a day, but some people do not listen, and it spills after one day. Basically, after the Israelites have the great miracle of crossing through the sea, they have another miracle of always having something to eat. You can follow along as I read from the Torah at Exodus chapter 16, verse 4, which is found in the large blue Torah commentary books on page 498, and in the revised Torah commentary books that some people have at home on page 443.
All right, take a step back for a second while we set it up. All right, let's see, Thomas, the Torah. Just hang on a seat for just a second. Okay, come on up, Thomas, and be an Oscar. Alright, so let's open this up. You started Vayomer, right? Vayomer Adonai. Alright, hang on. The cantor's gonna stand nice and close. The cantor's gonna call your name all fancy like.
Yamad, Yamad, Habacher Habar Mitzvah, Aaron ben Batya, Le'aliyah.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMavarach.
Baruch Adonai HaMvarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMavarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu kol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Okay, you're right there, Vayomer.
Vayomer Adonai el Moshe Hineni mamtir lechem min hashamayim v'yotza v'laktu devar yom v'yomo l'ma'an nasanu yelech v'torati imlo Yom Shishi Hinu et Shefiabihu Yosne Asher Elketu Yom Shef Israel Erev Vidatem Yi Amnai Atem Mitzeretz Mitzrayim.
Excellent. Okay, Thomas, don't leave your
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat Emeth v'choyei olam b'tochenu. Baruch Atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Excellent. Please join me in wishing Thomas Mazel Tov.
Mazel Tov.
Okay, Marcos, come stand up. Okay, so it's time for your parents' blessing. Marcos, come get blessed. Oh, he's gonna drink.
Don't get too thirsty.
Okay, so remember how we stood so that you're looking them in the eye. Okay, Marcos, you're right here. Thomas, you're right here. Oscar, don't be left out, you're right there. And don't forget to aim toward this microphone. Let's hear words of this.
Our hearts are one and joyous day. As you commit yourself to a life of Torah, a life we pray, filled with wisdom, caring, and right action, we pray that you grow each day in compassion for the needy, in concern for a stranger, in love of all people. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Sarah, Isaac, and Rebekah, Jacob, Rick, and Rachel, and Leah, bless you on your becoming your bar mitzvah. May you grow with strength and courage, with the vision and sensitivity, and may you always be certain of our love. Amen.
Nuestros corazones son uno en este día jubiloso, así como se comprometen a una vida del Torah, una vida. Nosotros oramos, llena de sabiduría, cariño y acción recta. Nosotros rezamos para que crezcan cada día en compasión por el necesitado, en preocupación por el extraño y en amor de toda la gente. Que el que bendijo a nuestros ancestros, Abraham, Sara, Isaac y Rebeca, Jacob y Raquel y Lea, los bendiga en su transformación al Torah, al Bar Mitzvah. Que crezcan con fuerza y valor, con visión y sensibilidad, y que siempre estén seguros de nuestro amor. Amén.
Amen.
Please join me in wishing the whole family Mazel
Mazel
Tov.
Tov.
Join together now in the Shehechianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Mazel Tov. Hugs and kisses all around.
Yay. I'm glad you did good.
Okay. Wait, all four of you can come have a seat. This time our thoughts turn to those in need of healing as we prepare to offer Mishaberach prayer for healing, which is found on page 371 in the prayer book in Mishkan Tefillah. If you're watching us on live stream and you are thinking of someone in need of healing, I invite you to share their name in the chat or comment section of the live stream platform. And if you're here in the sanctuary and you're thinking of someone in need of healing, I invite you to share the name of your loved one out loud or in your heart at this time. As a congregation, we think of our temple members in need of healing and their loved ones. Their names will appear on the screen in the corner of the sanctuary as we join together now in singing the Mishberach.
May say, Amen. Mi sherach imotenu mikol habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema. The renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We continue now with the lifting and dressing of the Torah, found at the bottom of page 370. For the honor of dressing the Torah, I'd like to invite back to the Bima Carl Friedman and Esther Cohen. Come on up. And please rise if you are able as we continue with Hagba and Galila. Okay, let me set them up. Okay, Esther. Great. We're ready for you to do this.
V'zot haTorah she'sa Moshe libnei bnei Yisrael, al pi Adonai biyad Moshe.
Please be seated. Okay. Thomas, you can sit. Part of becoming a bar mitzvah is not only reading the Torah, but it is understanding the Torah and sharing an interpretation of the Torah. That interpretation is called a Devar Torah, and we call upon Marcos now to share his Devar Torah with the congregation. Okay, right here in the middle. See that microphone? Okay, yep, you can do that. All right. Nice and loud.
As I study my Torah portion,
Slow.
Oh.
Slow. Like half that speed. Loud and slow.
as I study my Torah portion, I thought about the importance of community. The Israelites crossed the Red Sea as a community, complained as a community, and they enjoy the fresh water as a community. Judaism has many teachings about community. The idea of a united Jewish community today is called Kalal Yisrael. The Torah says human beings are created in divine image. So, when we form community, we all have the expectation to be treated equally and with respect. This includes being kind to others. Being in a community means that sometimes we are all called upon to give. Each of us, in our own ways, should contribute to the community. The Torah portion relates to life today because in the Bible, the Jewish community has three qualities that we can also follow. The first quality is that the people cared for each other. Our community in Bergen County cares for unfortunate people by having food pantries so hungry people can get what they need. Another example is that communities try to treat everyone with equality. Today, This means not judging someone by their race or gender. Another important aspect of community is acceptance. In community, we should be able to find people who respect your opinion. The lesson of the Torah portion is community is a group of people you can go back to when you are in need and should always support when you can. The significance of this day, to me, is how I learned new ways of dealing with challenges. It isn't easy to do all of these assignments for a bar mitzvah. One way I learned to deal with difficulty is by asking for help. I used to never do this. Now I do it sometimes, but still not every time I should. Something else I have learned to do is ask questions. If I don't understand an assignment, I ask for a follow-up question to make sure that I get the point. These are skills I can use in school and almost everywhere else. Really, I'm growing up and learning as I go. There are many people I would like to thank first. First, I would like to thank Mike Chilmer, who taught me how to chant my Torah portion. I would also like to thank my tutor, Man Wolf, for her patience when I ran late, but more importantly, for teaching me my Hebrew and prayers. Thank you to Cantor Tzolom. I'm glad you are back from your sabbatical in time to be here. Thanks for teaching me so much music when I was in Eitz Chaim. I would like to thank Rabbi Shebu for helping me write my Devar Torah. Thank you, especially to my parents, for reminding me very clearly and for always having my back. You are always the best. You're the best parents ever. Finally, Thomas, it is great to share this day with you. We will remember this forever. Mazel tov. To everyone here celebrating with us, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. John, you can have a seat for just a minute. Okay. The Haftarah reading this morning is from the book of Judges. In this part of the story, the judge is a woman named Deborah. Though Deborah can render judgment where she holds court under her palm tree, she cannot lead the nation into battle. That falls to her general Barak. Barak leads a successful military campaign over King Yabin of Canaan and over his military commander Sisera. So Deborah and Barak sing a song of victory. It is similar to the song the Israelites sang when they crossed through the Red Sea from slavery to freedom, which occurs earlier in this Torah portion. You can follow along as Marcos and Thomas read from the Haftarah at Judges chapter 5, verse 1, which is found in the Torah commentaries here in the sanctuary on page 705, and can be found in the revised Torah commentaries which many of our members have at home and maybe have as they watch on live stream. This Haftarah portion can be found in those books on page 464. Marcos, this is your side. Thomas, come around. Thomas, this is your side. Excellent. And we are ready for the Haftarah blessing.
Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who has chosen faithful prophets to speak words of truth. Praise to you, Adonai, for the revelation of Torah, for your servant Moses, for your people Israel, and for prophets of true and with righteousness.
Okay, here's your Haftarah. Nice and loud.
On that day, Deborah and Barak, son of Abinadab, sang the song. When Israelites let their hair grow loose, when people volunteer themselves, praise the Eternal. Listen, kings, hear you rulers. I sing to the Eternal, I sing. I chant to the Eternal, the God of Israel.
Eternal One, when you went forward from Seir, when you marched from the land of Edom, earth shook, sky dripped. Yes, the clouds poured down water. The mountains quaked before the Eternal, the One of Sinai, before the Eternal, the God of Israel.
Excellent. Okay, move that out of the way, and Thomas, we're ready now for the blessing after. Nice and loud.
Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, rock of all creation, righteous one of all generations, the faithful God whose word is deed, whose every command is just and true. For the Torah, for the privilege of worship, for the prophets, and for this Shabbat that you, Adonai our God, have given us, for holiness and rest, for honor and glory. We thank and bless you. May your name be blessed forever by every living being. Praise to you, Adonai, for the Sabbath and its holiness.
Amen. Okay, great. We continue now on page 374 in the Siddur. Please rise. Okay, come on over, Thomas. Thomas, you're going to be right here. Okay, Marcos, you're on the other side. Good. Oscar, okay, be here right here. Thank you very much. As we prepare to pass the Torah from one generation to the next in Thomas's family, I'd like to share a legend with you about what exactly happened at this moment on Mount Sinai. As God prepared to give the Torah to Israel, God asked, "Who are your guarantors that I will know for sure that they will protect the Torah?" The Israelites said, "Our ancestors are our guarantors." God said, "Your ancestors are not sufficient guarantors." So the Israelites said, "Our prophets are our guarantors." To which God said, "Your prophets are not sufficient guarantors." Then Israel said, "Give us the Torah and our children will be our guarantors." To which God responded, "Your children are sufficient guarantors. For their sake, I give you the Torah." Yahalelu et Shem Adonai, ki niskav, Shemo levado.
Hadaret v'shamayim v'yaren keren lama tehillah l'chol chasidam livnei Yisrael am kirovo. Hallelujah. חיים היא למחזיק בבטחה מאושר דרך דרכי נועם בכל נתיבותיה שלום השיבני אדוני אליך פני שובה קדיש קדיש ימינו קדיש ימינו כקדם.
Please be seated. Okay, Thomas and Marcos, right over here. All right, remember, Thomas, you are here. Marcos.
Oscar's going to
Okay. Great. Great. So,
Okay.
okay, Oscar, step over here so we can see you, though.
I'd like to say good morning to everybody that showed up on this freezing day. The coldest day of the year, of course, had to be today.
Okay, make sure you talk right next to that microphone.
To honor these kids today, it's such a blessing to have them continue on with their bar mitzvah. My father, who was a Holocaust survivor, this is in his honor today. So I appreciate everybody showing up, and I'm so proud of these boys. I'd also like to thank the Temple Emeth community for providing a home for us and making us feel so welcome. As a business owner and always having to run around as a mom and for business, I thank Oscar for coming to services when I couldn't. It was definitely a team effort on all our parts. I'm sure Oscar knows more Sabbath services and prayers than most. So it definitely was a team effort. I'd like to thank Marion Wolf, Mark, Rabbi Servio, Cantor, everybody in this community has been great. I forget how many years we've been here, but it's been 5+ years. And we definitely couldn't have done it without the Temple Emeth community always pitching in and supporting our family. And once again, I'm so proud of you guys and continuing the Jewish tradition. And it is a blessing to have you guys go forward and take this honor on behalf of our family. Okay, Mazel Tov.
Please bring all the groceries. Oh, no. Hola a todos, a todas, a todes. Pues agradecerles que hoy están acompañándonos. Gracias por el tiempo que se han tomado para este evento de gran importancia. Gracias a mi familia, a mis amigos que están viendo a través de las redes sociales. Bueno, aún recuerdo cuando llegamos al templo y solo imaginaba cómo sería este día. No hay tiempo que no se cumpla y hoy los veo en esta otra etapa de su vida. Y bueno, pues decirles que siempre los vamos a apoyar en sus proyectos, que nunca dejen de soñar y de luchar, que siempre defiendan sus ideales. Por último, Nani nekni mixtlalia no temachtiani domingatzi Cruz Reyes lo guampoyo guantlen momachtia tonahuatlactoli. Pues I want to say thank you to everybody, all of you guys that took the time for coming with us. Thank you my partner Julito, my first manager, my comrades that right here in the struggle, Paul that always take me to play soccer, Fidel Santos that comes from Poughkeepsie, New York, everybody in the temple, I appreciate it because I learned another cultura and as well I'm sharing the culture with my kids. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Mazel tov. One last sit down.
And to tell you guys that keep struggling and always dream and fight and struggle for your ideals. Defend your ideals.
That's beautiful. Excellent. Okay, so Marcos, you're going to sit down. B and Oscar, you're going to go back to your seats in the congregation. And Thomas, it's time for your speech.
Alrighty.
Just get everything all settled here. Okay, it couldn't have gone far. Have a seat while I look for it. It was tucked in your. I saw it. You gave the first page of it. Well, no, I took it out for you. This is the first page of it. So Thomas has something very, very valuable to say about creativity, and all we have to do now is find his speech. I found it. All right. So a few moments ago, we heard Marcos give a Devar Torah. His theme was community, and Thomas is now going to give his Devar Torah on the theme of creativity. Okay, come stand right here. Don't touch any of that. Let's get this out of the way. You already gave that page. And these are the 3 pages that you're giving now. Okay, remember, stand up straight, nice and loud, but especially slow.
As early as 4th grade, I can remember having an interest in drawing, but I wasn't very good at it yet. A friend of mine in class encouraged me to keep drawing because I wouldn't get better if I didn't practice. She had been drawing for longer than I had, so she had the experience to know that it's true. During the pandemic, I neglected my interest in drawing. In 2021, I tried to pick up where I left off. It was hard, but I realized that my art has evolved since then. Even up to this date, I still have much to learn. But I know that it is important for me to express my creativity. In my Torah portion, the people are complaining about the lack of food. So Moses and God respond by raining down bread from the sky. The people are to collect it 6 days a week, but not Shabbat. This is a very creative act of leadership on the part of Moses and God. It is a creative way to teach trust in God and to teach the importance of Shabbat. Jewish tradition has many lessons about creativity, and many of them are connected to art. In Jewish art today, artists will take inspiration from themes in the Bible, like the Exodus story in my portion, and from Jewish history, like the Holocaust. My Torah portion relates to life today because art helps tell stories that need to be told. I realize art comes in many forms, no matter what story it's trying to tell. There's powerful Jewish art around the founding of Israel as a state. In fact, art can tell many stories of Judaism, can tell many emotions across an audience, and inform people about the message of the artist to people who are interested. The lesson of the Torah portion is that art and creativity have always been a part of the Jewish experience from the Torah until today. As I prepared for my bar mitzvah, one of the lessons I learned was that art is my passion and is something I would like to do as a career too. If there's anything my family knows, it's that I have a creative side for drawing. My plans for the future are to push my creativity and learn new things to further expand it. I've been interested in cartoons since I was a kid, watching animations on YouTube. I've always felt inspired by other people to draw and keep moving forward. As I become a bar mitzvah, I understand that Judaism is part of this interest, and that I have many friends to support my passion. There are many people I wish to thank today. I would like to thank my tutor, Marion Wolf, for teaching me all the passages from Mishkan Tefillah that I learned. I also want to thank Mark Shelber for teaching me the Torah portion I read. Today, thank you to Kenta Tillam, who made being in junior choir for all those years a fun experience. I want to thank Rabbi Serby for helping me write this speech. I'd like to give a special thanks to my Uncle Carl for giving me the strength and motivation to keep moving on with my dreams. I couldn't have done this without my parents. Thank you for encouraging my strong passion for art and for supporting everything I've done. You guys are the coolest parents ever. I'd like to congratulate Marcos for coming to bar mitzvah today too, I guess. It has been great. It has been great sharing this experience together. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Excellent, excellent, great job. Okay, so you're guys are both going to stand up. I'm going to wish you Mazel Tov. And remember, the Mazel Tov position is over here, right over here. So you can look me in the eye. Stand right here. Good, Marcos. Stand right here. Right next to your brother. All right, excellent. Thomas and Marcos, it is my pleasure at this time to wish you both Mazel Tov on becoming B'nai Mitzvah. You've led us in prayer, read from the Torah and Haftarah, and interpreted a lesson of the Torah in the form of a speech. You did a great job on everything, so you can take a deep breath because the hard part is over. Thomas, I recall our 7th grade class together quite well. You were always full of questions. When we would go around the class, you would to talk about something important that had happened in the last week, you would often share about the progress of your elaborate Halloween costume or masks, or show us the intricate drawings that you had done. Now you're in our Emeth Teen Community Program, and together we've gone to places like Rutgers and New York City. Thomas, when you are in the right mindset, you can have amazing focus. Our challenge together was to focus on the Torah, the story of how the Israelites got food in the desert, and what that meant for their relationship with God. Marcos, we've not been in class together for more than 10 minutes at a time when we have tefillah, that short prayer service that begins our religious school session on Wednesday afternoons. But nonetheless, I've noticed how seriously you take our prayers that we do together as a class. You are a violinist playing in your orchestra at school, and you have one of the great qualities of a young Jewish person. You are curious. Curiosity is what helps our people develop new ideas, new music, and new relationships with God. Your commitment to asking questions when you need help is one aspect of this curiosity. To become B'nai Mitzvah together is a special accomplishment. You've worked on your own Torah portions, but you've had many of your lessons together. You each wrote your own speech, but your topics complement one another, with Marcos reading about how the Israelites needed water and Thomas about how they needed food. Your mom described you as frenemies, but everyone here today can feel the affection that you have for each other. I'm very proud of you both, and I wish you both Mazel Tov. Oscar and B, I wish you Mazel Tov as well. I've seen your commitment to your son's Jewish education grow over the years, and with it your commitment to Temple Emeth. I see the pride on your faces at this time, and I was touched by the lovely words you shared on the bima a moment ago, and I wish you Mazel Tov as well. And to the extended family and friends who have gathered, both in person and on live stream, I'd like to say Mazel Tov and thank you. It is your presence on this day that makes celebrating Bar Mitzvah such a wonderful and such a memorable occasion. At this time, Cantor Tillman and I would like to share a special blessing of Bar Mitzvah for Thomas and for Marcos at the Open Ark. If you are able to, I ask you to rise. Okay, come join us at the Ark. The first part of the blessing is individual. My microphone will be off. May God bless you and keep you. May God's light shine down upon you, and may God God be gracious to you. May God's Spirit lift you up, and may God give you shalom, the gift of peace, now and always. And let us say, Amen. Mazel tov. Please be seated. It is my pleasure at this time to call upon Michael Goldberg, a member of our Board of Trustees, to offer Shabbat greetings and to present gifts to our B'nai Mitzvah. Okay, is this the same as this? It looks the same. All right, so just make sure that you are aiming toward that microphone, and we're ready.
Thomas and Marcos, Mazel tov to you.
It's not quite. We're not quite there.
Okay, Mazel tov to both of you.
There you go.
Let's try one more time. Okay, you both did a fantastic job. Marcos, you talked about community, and you've both been very strong, active members in the Temple Emeth community. For many years, when you were younger, Gail and I, we loved coming to service to listen to both of you sing in Etz Chaim. And I know you've helped build the sukkah for this past year and years before. Thomas, I agree with you. Your parents are very cool. Okay, now back to the script. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, it is with great pleasure that I wish both of you and your family Mazel tov on becoming a bar mitzvah. The temple takes pride in your accomplishments. On this important occasion in your life, Temple Emeth is pleased to present you with the following gifts. And they're in the bags here, you can check them out later. Yeah. A Kiddush cup we hope you'll use on your Shabbat and festivals. A certificate for a tree planted in Israel by Biakad. A $3,250 gift certificate, good toward a trip to Israel with the North American Federation of Temple Youth. Now, what I learned recently, this was just a couple months ago, only $250. I think Israel wants you guys to visit. Also, it's a $25 gift certificate towards the purchase of a leaf or a rock on the Tree of Life in the lobby. And of course, your Bar Mitzvah certificate, attesting all that you accomplished on the Bima today. Thomas and Marcos, I'd like to wish Mazel tov to your parents, Beatrice and Oscar. Finally, I'd like to thank this morning's volunteers in the live stream booth. Amanda Eastman and Pauline Hecht are at the controls this morning. Shabbat Shalom and Mazel tov.
Excellent, thank you, Michael. Okay, Marcos, you can take this. And let's see whose book this is. And Thomas, take your Siddur. And Marcos, take your Siddur. And you can head back to your seats. No, don't leave. Remember what I said.
Oh, I thought we were leaving.
That happened in rehearsal too, so I was ready for it. Okay. We are about to conclude our service with our closing prayers, the Aleinu and the Mourner's Kaddish, followed by our closing song. Our final blessings will be the Kiddush and the Motzi. And then at the end of the service, you can come up on the bima for a slice of challah, and then in the social hall you can find a little cup of grape juice to fulfill the blessing of Kiddush. On behalf of the Pignones family, it's my pleasure to invite everyone to the Kiddush for share a little bagel and some nosh in the social hall after our service today, as a thank you for being here this morning and celebrating with us. Our service continues now on page 586 at the bottom of the page. Please rise if you are able for the Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach ladon ha'kol latechnu lal yotzer b'reishit shelo asanu k'goyei haratzon ve'lo
this time for a reading to introduce the mourner's Kaddish. That reading is found in the Siddur on page 595. There are stars up above so far away, we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we love. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. This Shabbat, we remember those for whom we're in the Shloshim 30-day period of mourning. Evelyn Kaufman, friend of Ida Jean Fisher. Bill Weiss, a member of Temple Emeth and husband of Brenda Weiss. Vicky Van Zetta, daughter of Joan Paul. Albert Bortnick, cousin of Carol Bratman. We remember as well those whose yard sites occurred this week. Lillian Bayer, Evelyn Blattman, Shirley Bloom, Nancy Boonin, Hannah Rothenberg-Broder, Dorothy Carben, Jean and Sylvain Cerf, Joan Chelmer, Lincoln Isaiah Dugood, Solomon Z. Furziger, Lillian Freed, Alan Gelbart, Anna Gordon, Joseph Gottfried, Joyce E. Graber, Robert Heischober, Isaac Macklin Kaplan, Maria Kozak, Erwin Kramer, Albert Levine, Fran Levine, Ida Levy, Charles Richard Mayer, Gussie Mandelkern, Sherwood Bradford Menkes, Jim Nagin, Eileen Nahn, Helen Portman, Suzanne Purcell, Frances Rosenberg, Sally Rosenberg, Ilsa Rosenthal, Ben Salkin, and Elizabeth Watson. We remember the loved ones of the B'nai Mitzvah family, Frank Friedman and Phyllis Friedman. We remember the names of 6 of the 6 million who perished in the Holocaust: Grigory Benenson, Leba Benenson, Nina Benenson, Pesia Benenson, Marika Beck, and Yehoshua Becker. And we remember a loved one of our congregation who died recently and will be buried after Shabbat, Herbert Besson, husband of Julia Besson. We remember them all. We take them into our hearts with our own as we turn now to page 598 and we join together in the mourner's Kaddish. Yitzgadal v'yitzgadash shemei Rabbah. Be'alma divrach rutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agalau v'zman kariv imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivorach leolam ulalmei almaya. Yitzbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar, v'yitromam, v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar, v'yitaleh, v'yithalal, shemeid, kudsha, b'rechu. Le'ela minkol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, Hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved, and let us say, amen. Please be seated. Our closing song this morning is found in your Siddur on page 626. On page 626, we find Ein Keloheinu. Please join with us together. conclude our service with the Kiddush. Here, Marcos here. Thomas, I have the book open. I have my book open, so you can just pick up the Kiddush cup. Here you go, Marcos, pick it up. And it's just the one line of the Kiddush. Bray Priya Gafen starts Baruch Atah Adonai. Do it nice and loud. Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Borei Priya Gafen.
Amen.
L'chaim.
Chaim.
And we join together in the Motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
We have reached the end of our service. If you have been watching us on live stream, it is your last chance to post a Mazel Tov in the chat or comment section of the live stream platform. And you can also post the same words that we here in the sanctuary are going to use to greet one another as we conclude our service. We turn to one another and we say,
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Mom.
You can wave at camera 2. By camera 2. Camera